So they put a tax on it because it's convenient. All right. And compiling that, with the inflation, it's just items are becoming unbuyable here, man. You know, you got. I just left the gas station. They're just trying to get something, you know, after going to the damn gymnasio, you know, and you got freaking Gatorade, Gatorade. The special now for Gatorade is 2 for $5. When in the hell, was that a goddamn deal? Two fucking bottles of sugar water, with some salt in it, and Esau want $5, man. Not even just $5. I think it was 5.50. You know, and just a few years ago, if not 2 years ago, even 1 year ago, man. A special on a fucking Gatorade would be like what, $2? I mean, well, that was like, man, that was like back in high school and shit. Two Gatorades would be like $1.80. $2. And even maybe like 2 years ago, you get two Gatorades for like 3.50. You know, now you got two Gatorades for $5. You know, a bag of candy is fucking $3. you know, and if you can't see this, the Most High not dealing with you. You blind as a fucking bat. These people not even complaining. They such in a state of fucking slavery and servitude. To this devil, they don't even complain. Who mainly complains? Esau. Jake ain't Northern Kingdom ain't complaining. They just happen to be at fucking work. you know. And the scriptures say that the men of the Lord are the ones that are sighing and crying, man. All right, because we know this is hell. All right, we want to get the hell out of here. We telling the Lord every day, man. Hey, Esau is persecuting us. Esau is oppressing us. We don't have our woman. All right, we don't have total dominance over our household and our children. Okay, we gotta go serve this fucking devil on a plantation. We want to get the hell out of here, man. Okay, but you people don't want to get out of here, especially you, Jake. You 2/3. You know what you want? You want a solution. You want Esau to sell your silly ass some hope. All right, some hope on the ceiling, as the song go. Okay, all right, but we embrace this. All right, we embrace the hell. We embrace and we endure. Okay, the times to come. All right, and we want it to get worse. We want the prices to get high as hell. We want to go to the store and see that bread is that enriched that enriched fucking white bread is goddamn $3 a loaf. $4 a loaf, $6 a loaf. We like to see the gas high. You know, because that's signs of the times, man, that we about to get the hell out of here. All right, and America is losing. All right, it's dollar dominance, man. Okay, you got UAE leaving OPEC, which means it's gonna be unregulated, so they could just flood the market with oil. Undercutting all these other countries. That's gonna make other countries beef with them. They got you got fertilizer shortages. They talking about famine, man. Towards the middle of the year and the end of the year, they talking about food gaps, big food gaps that they ain't gonna be able to recover from. Oil and gas gaps that they ain't gonna be able to recover from them other nations that don't drill. Your Asias, you know, because some of these nations don't have any drilling platforms whatsoever. They don't deal with the oil and gas whatsoever. They totally and solely dependent. Especially a lot of them European nations as well. Because they got a lot of regulations against drilling. You know, and that's another reason why Esau is so pompous. All right, over here in Babylon, because they don't give a damn. Babylon got plenty of oil. You know, Babylon been getting oil out the ground since the Rockefellers, that man, Rockefellers and Rothschilds. You know, But the crunch and the squeeze, all right, is coming for you, you everyday Babylonians, man. All right, I'm seeing these women, man. I seen, man, I was at the job, and Esau leave the scraps out. The office might have a party, and they have food and shit, and they'll leave the food in the break room, for the field hands, to pick off the scraps of the people in the office, and hey, man, these jobs in America is never really spoken about, but there's a deep rooted um how can I say it, form of classism, in every job you go to in America, man. The CEO, the VP, the head of HR, the head of this and that, the managers, there's a big separation between them, and the people that's on the floor, you know, the blue collar versus the white collar, that resentment is there, you know. And in them times, man, a lot of it's gonna be a lot of these plantations, people gonna be getting busy. It's gonna be fights, it's gonna be shootings, it's gonna be people going fucking postal, because there's so much division, all right, here in Babylon, man, because it's a wicked ass kingdom. So you got all kind of division, man. You got racial division, okay, you got class division, like I was speaking on. So the Jakes that's in the ghetto gonna venture out, all right, to where you Edomites at and try to take your goods. You know, it's a America is a big fucking, how they say America is a melting pot. Yeah, it's a melting pot, but that bitch is boiling. It's right about that temperature before them bubbles, start increasing. All right, and they spill over. All right, and then it turn into a damn house fire, man. Okay, but yeah, oh yeah, back to the story. I think it was a Northern Kingdom chick. You know, either she was Northern Kingdom or I couldn't really tell. But man, they left out some pasta. For the field hands. She came from the office and went digging through it, man. She opened up 110, and then it wasn't nothing in there. She looked up, she opened another, it wasn't nothing in there. And you could see the look of disappointment, that she had. She was probably thinking in her mind, well, I ain't got to stop to go to Wendy's and get the 4 for 4, which they don't even got that no more. I guess McDonald's, whatever the fuck they got, some special. The Iscarite told me, because I was joking about it. Iscarite at the job, he said, "Oh, they ain't got it no more. They got the $5 special at McDonald's." you know. So these women are struggling, man. If you a woman and you white collar, you ain't making that much. You might be making 50K, but you living by yourself. You paying all your fucking bills and your car note, you know? And you got that fucking lightsaber at home, sitting in your goddamn drawer, all right? Or you got the fucking rosebud, okay? And you spend your nights fucking terrified and fear when you hear a bump in the night. This is the dream that fucking Esau sold your stupid ass. So now you sitting in a fucking 1 bedroom apartment, all right, with your cat or your dog, all right, or your fucking goldfish, okay, and the price is getting high, the neighborhood is getting less safe, okay. So you could clearly see how that Isaiah 4:1 is gonna take place, man. Okay, women already looking at you like they down bad. They starting to care less about how tall you are, you know, or how much money you got. All right, or how so-called attractive you are, okay? Because none of them that bullshit, was the measure of a man in the ancient times, man. Okay, if a man was established, he took care of himself. All right, he was able to take care of his woman. All right, that was all that freaking mattered. All right, it wasn't about, oh, you did, oh, I like the way you do your goatee. you know, the vanity of these freaking women today, man. All right. And then look, you pull it up. Clearly, this is bullshit. I look up inflation rate today. Core inflation rate hit 3% in March, as first quarter growth disappointed at 2%. How the fuck is inflation at 3%, man? How? You don't got the answers, Sway. You don't got the answers. You know? If you sitting there listening to the media, listening to Fox News, you a damn dummy, man. If you still listening to that shit in 2026, you a damn fool. Here it is, they tell you inflation is at 3%. If inflation is at 3%, why prices then doubled on shit? Why prices of vehicles then doubled? Why your home value ain't even went up more than fucking 3%. Homes that was freaking, 150K before COVID, after COVID, they freaking 275K and up. And we sitting there, we looking at the news and they telling you it's 3% inflation, you know? But that's what happens when the Most High haven't opened up your eyes, man. You get caught in delusion, man. You get caught in Esau's bullshit and witchcraft. But that's all I had. I pray this lesson is edifying and shalom.